any of you who had the good fortune to visit the dressing rooms in the old stadium will realise that they were much smaller, much more cramped, and they had lots of walls and barriers and things like that. Mr. Wenger wanted to make sure that when we came to the new stadium that there would be no obstructions in the dressing room, and that he would be able to address the whole squad in the same way that I can speak to you now from one position. He also wanted to make sure that the club captain was also at the focal point of things in the dressing room, and that's why Gilberto Silva's shirt is there. Indeed, for much of last season, when Thierry Henry was injured, Gilberto was also in that position. But it's not just the captain's position in the dressing room that's special, because Herbert Chapman, our legendary manager, who came to the club in 1925, made lots of innovations which have stood the test of time. And one of those things was that he was determined that players who actually played together as a unit on the pitch should actually start their bonding in the dressing room. So he decided that the goalkeeper, and here we have our calm, mild-mannered German goalkeeper, Mr. Lehmann, closest to the showers, and that's the way it was at Highbury too. Then we have the defensive unit, the fullbacks and the central defenders. Then we have the midfield players together, and as I say, it's a happy coincidence that we have a midfielder as captain, and he's in the centre of things here. And then we have the forward players, or strikers as we've come to describe them in the modern game. And that's something that we wouldn't have had at Highbury when the stadium was first built, back in, or the East Stand at least, back in 1936. We didn't have any substitutes, and it always comes as a big surprise to young people to realise that in those days you had 11 players, and if somebody got injured or sent off, that was it. You were down to 10 men, and nobody else came on. Now, Mr. Wenger, as you know, he managed a club in the Far East called Nagoya Grampus 8, and being a connoisseur of all things